I do arts, and one of my subjects is international relations. And I rock up at my lecture, and I see there are actually a lot more nerdier people than usual, or there are a lot more Asians than usual. But then 5 minutes into the lecture, I realize that they're all in the wrong lecture, and they all walk out. So it proves the stereotype right. There are no Asians in art subjects.
I did that subject.
Okay.
I was in.
The majority. Thank you, Louisa.
The majority. I don't know, but I think the Asians who do it are all local. So, the local Asians, yeah, most of them would be because they'd have to have a good grasp of English and, English literature.
But the ones that do arts, they tend to stick to their language. Like a language study. So let's say you're Chinese, you would do Chinese studies or Chinese language so that at least even the content's in English, you kind of understand the content because you've seen it before. And that way they can sort of work from there.
Yeah, that's true. But there is like a stereotype generally going around when you're like, oh yeah, I do art. They're like, oh, so what job are you going to do later?
Exactly. That's the reason why Asian parents don't want kids doing art degrees, because what are you going to do with it?
They're afraid of the future.
The future. It's all about the future.
Live life by the day.
You've got to be a doctor or lawyer. Well, then arts can lead to law in a way. That's why there's... is it arts law? Is it a double degree?
Well, not anymore.
Oh, yeah, because of the whole Melbourne model.
But at other unis there are.
Yeah, of course, Monash.
And you can transfer from arts to a lot of different things anyway. So it's a good starting place.
As an Asian person, what would you do with an arts degree? That's the question.
Well, I'm doing an arts degree as well.
With commerce.
Because
you're too scared.
But what do you
What
do you hope to do with arts? Like, do you even?
I think it's more of an enrichment thing. Like, you actually get more knowledge from it. Like,
you become a well-rounded person.
Yeah, and you become more cultured, and you're aware of what's going on around you. Whereas things like a lot of the other degrees, you're studying them just to, so that you have a job in the future, that you make money. Whereas arts, you're just actually, literally just educating yourself. And I think that's really important nowadays as well, anyway. And a lot of employers who are looking now, I think they realize that as well. Like, they know that even though you're really smart and everything like that, you might not be aware of what's going on. You have to be, like, culturally savvy. You have to be, aware of what's in your environment and stuff.
Especially in Melbourne.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They like, I mean, we do like our general knowledge in Melbourne, so.
Yeah.
It's a new kind of Asian, new breed.
So, one day Shen Mei might be like...
Well, and after this I'm planning on doing law, so you can go elsewhere with arts. And Louise is right, you have to be aware of, like, the world. You can read the paper and actually understand what's going on, not that, oh, this stock is up or that stock is down. Yes, we all know we're going through a financial crisis, but...
Yeah, but what else is new kind of thing?
Exactly.
But what happened to the days where, like, being like, a philosopher or, like studying literature used to be like,
well respected.
Well respected, and now it's just kind of like not. I mean, like, I wanted to do philosophy, literature, all those kind of art subjects, but my parents just kind of laughed at me and they just said, "What are you going to do with it?"
I think it's just because they're not money makers. I think that's the bottom line. They're not money makers.
Oh yeah, and it also uni depends. Like, do you do a degree that will get you a job, or do you do a degree that you enjoy? You have to make that sacrifice.
And a lot of Asian, I think, kids find that that sort of dilemma in year 12, where their parents are pushing them to be like, put down medicine, law, and they're like, no, I want to study fashion, I want to study photography, I want to do, I want to become a chef. Like,
that's a new trend.
It is a trend, but it's also frowned upon. I think maybe even if your parents accept it, your family friends. Mm-hmm. And their, friends kind of go, oh, so your child's, studying to draw. They're drawing pictures at school. That's great.
No. I think most parents, I think it depends on what kind of background you're from as well within the Asian community. Some families think, it's okay. It's like groundbreaking in a way. Like, my family doesn't care that I do advertising. It's because it's not considered your standard Asian subject for university, but they're quite supportive of it.
But your parents are quite open-minded.
Oh, they are, yeah. Quite liberal. As are most, some are. The ones that have been here for a while, I think, are quite open-minded, because you're getting used to Western. It's all about, that's why they come to Australia, to get the, the opportunities of doing whatever they want without any ridicule.
Yeah, that's true.
But, law and all that's just a safe, it's what the parents have been told.
Especially commerce. Like, if you walk into, I mean, Dee would know this, you can, But if you walk into, like, a commerce lecture at Melbourne Uni, it's basically 80%.
90%.
Yeah, that was shocking, actually. I was like, I just walked in.
It's a sea of blackheads. And you see it just in the top row of the lecture hall.
It can sound like pimples.
It's a sea of blackheads.
It's a sea of blackheads.
And just, at the top of the electoral, sea of whiteheads. No, just a little row of whiteheads.
Oh,
No, but like it was kind of like a bit scary and a bit overwhelming. I mean, imagine the people taking the subject, they'll just be like, "Wow, I don't speak Chinese, or I don't speak all this, and I don't understand what these people are talking about." Yet, I'm doing the same subject with them.
Yeah, but imagine if you were, let's say, many years ago, where Asians were not as present in degrees such as commerce, and you would come into like if we went into a lecture hall, we'd be like, "Well, there's so many of."
Yeah, but that's expected. I mean, like a couple of years ago, you would have been like, if you walked into like a medicine a lecture, you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, there's so many
Yeah, that's
Asians." Also, another thing is just to quickly on the topic of arts, TAFE. I mean, yeah. TAFE is frowned upon by like Asians a lot, but what they don't realize is a lot of TAFE subjects, they plunge you straight into the industry.
TAFE is hard, actually. It's 5 subjects.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot more work than uni. And
and like you get into the industry just like that, and like
there's a lot more practical experience.
Yeah, and you make like quite a bit of money, but like as I said again.
But I think the bottom line is whether you make money or not. I think that's the bottom line.
That's the Asian attitude to it. Oh wait,
So kiddos, if you want to choose between making money or
your
follow
passion,
your dreams.
follow your heart. Follow your heart.
like not to be all cheesy with you guys. we just met, but
If you want to send us your opinions about this, 0427 767 767 is the number to text to, or sin.org.au/listen if you're cheap. Alright, right now it is Lloyd Banks featuring Avant with Karma, the remix. You're on Sin. Good afternoon, Melbourne. It is 5 minutes past 4. You're on air on Sin. Good afternoon. Yes, so, anyone go clubbing with relatives? Because I know I don't.
way to jump into it.
It's smooth. You gotta do it smoothly. Get no time to waste. Get straight into it.
I think it depends how close you are to siblings and age-wise as well.
Well, I won't go clubbing with my sister. She's 2.5 years younger than me. Hi, Michelle.
I definitely go clubbing with my siblings, even though they're a bit younger than me. But no, I go clubbing with them. It's good. It's fun. Yeah. Well, she's crazy. Shenlin, hi.
What's all the sibling shout-outs? Do I gotta do it too? No.
Yeah.
Lucky you don't have 7 siblings. Otherwise, it'd be a massive list.
Shaniqua.
Tequila.
No, but clubbing with siblings are good for some reason. Like, you can always share a cab home. You always have someone to go home with.
That's
at the
true.
same house.
Same house. How convenient.
But what if you don't want to go home at the end of the night?
Well, you have to have that talk before and be like, can I go home with someone else?
I think it's the kind of
Is that
age.
okay?
I think it's the kind of age thing as well. You can't have, let's say, a 6 year gap between your older sister or younger sister. It kind of gets a little bit weird because if you're the older sibling of the 2 or 3 or whatever, you got to look after him. You're not gonna let him go away, and you can't go away because you go home with some guy and leave him.
Is that a bad example?
Well, no, yeah. My sister and I have a pretty interesting relationship. We've got a pretty good understanding.
Are you the older or younger one?
I'm older, but her and I don't really baby her or anything because I feel like I'm being a hypocrite if I'm like, you can't do that because I did that.
Fair enough.
That's true.
I guess it's different if your sisters. I mean, like I got a younger sister, and I would definitely not like to see her go clubbing.